Now, let's get on with tonight's fights. The first fight will be Jimmy Young against Ossie Ocasio. You're looking at Jimmy Young right now in his dressing room. Slightly overweight, but still the clever heavyweight. And you remember Jimmy Young in past fights, but for those of you who don't, we want to take you briefly back into the recent highlights of Jimmy Young's boxing history. Let's have a look. And Jimmy Young thought he won the fight. It was a close decision. Right here at the end, he's working Norton over, connecting repeatedly to the head. Jimmy Young, the clever heavyweight. Clever indeed, and a frustrated man. You'll meet him up close and personal in just a few minutes during this telecast. Jimmy Young. But leaving Jimmy Young, who's he going to fight tonight? He's going to fight Ossie Ocasio. You've never heard of him either. This young man has had about 11 fights. Look at the stats on him. He's unbeaten. He is quick. He is strong, and he could surprise. And as you look at those stats, there is the record. Notice the 9 knockouts. The young man is an authentic puncher. So with the Young Ocasio fight coming up, we'll be back for you to meet Jimmy Young up close and personal, as I said, in a moment.
You're robbed on vacation. You have no cash, no credit cards, nothing.
Okay, we're back live at Caesars Palace, the Sports Pavilion, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's time to meet Jimmy Young. Yesterday, I had a long talk with Jimmy, who wants to know really where he stands and when he's going to get what he feels are his just desserts.
Jim, it's altogether possible that you are the most qualified contender for the heavyweight title, either WBC or WBA. Yet it's clear you've become the most overlooked. You have to be bitter about this, aren't you?
Yes and no. Not really, because I figure as long as I keep on working hard and winning, that my chance will come and I'll get fair decision on my fights.
On April 30th, 1976 at Landover, Maryland, in the eyes of many, you decisively beat Ali, yet he got the decision. On November 5th, 1977, in an admittedly tough fight against Kenny Norton, he got the decision. Don't tell me those fights don't live with you and bring a sense of frustration.
Well, yes, it does, especially the fight with Norton, because I figure you don't really have to know anything about boxing. You can see who's really winning the fight. You know, who's scoring the most clean shots in the fight, but, you know, sometimes you have to live with things like that, and like I said, if I keep working hard and winning, my day will come.
All right, Jimmy, in the wake of that Norton decision, you find yourself, Jimmy Young, on an undercard to Norton against Holmes, fighting a lad with very little experience, Ossie, Ocasio, only 11 fights. How can you possibly get up for it?
Well, number one, I'm looking for another title fight sometime in the near future. Number two, I have to take him serious because he has a chance really to sort of like move me out of position for the title fight, or you might say take my place. Three, he has a chance for a position that doesn't come often with a kid with his what you say experience or whatever. And when I was coming up, I was fighting guys with plenty of experience. I got by most of the fights, and I just have to take this kid serious. As far as age-wise, I think he's about 4 years younger. Well, experience, he's had 11 fights. Doesn't mean anything in all cases. He's a heavyweight, and he carries a punch that can knock me or any other heavyweight out. And I'm carrying about 3 pounds more than I usually carry, but I feel good with it, and I might need it in all this heat out here anyway. I hear it goes up to 100 degrees out here.
Let me dissect your answer. You want it to lead to a title fight. A, have you had any guarantee of an opportunity to fight the winner of Norton Holmes?
Well, if you want to call a guarantee, the word from the president, Jose Sulaiman, I spoke with him the day before yesterday, and he told me face-to-face that the winner of tomorrow's fight will have to fight me no later than December 31st this year. Now, they can take a fight before, but they have to fight me no later than December 31st. So if I understood him correctly, I think they have to sign somewhere around October.
Now, assuming that you beat this kid the way you want to, is there still lurking in your mind not just the winner of Norton Holmes, but the division in the heavyweight ranks, Ali and Spinks?
Well, I don't really know too much about this situation, what's going on here. I think what it is, it's the money thing. I think, from where I got it, Spinks signed a contract to meet the #1 contender, which was Norton at the time, behind our decision, our fight, right? So he wants to wait on a rematch. I guess what I can see is more money on a rematch with Ali. Well, you know what, the dividing comes in there with WBA and WBC, so they made another champion. So I'm going to continue to fight. If I wind up in my career with just the WBC title, I'll be satisfied.
But you think you can beat anybody?
Oh, yeah, even you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
So an interview with Jimmy Young as Jimmy Young comes down toward the ring. Quickly, let me introduce my colleagues working with me at ringside tonight. We're looking at Ossie Ocasio right there now. That's the young man I told you about with the 9 knockouts. Definitely a puncher. Now, the 2 men working with me at ringside tonight. My old friend, veteran colleague, Christopher Schenkel, and next to him, our new member of the ABC sports team, the best referee in all of boxing. 28 title fights he's refereed, 7 of them heavyweight title fights. Arthur McCanney. There they are. They'll work this fight.
He does that extremely well, Arthur. It's great to have you here, and I think we have an interesting prelude. A scheduled 10-round heavyweight fight, Arthur, between Jimmy Young, who fought here in November and lost a controversial decision to Kenny Norton. Now, he said he was 2 or 3 pounds overweight. Untrue. He is 7 pounds over his 213 when he was sharp, and maybe won the fight, Arthur. So I think he's going to be a little large around the midsection. And this young kid with 11 fights, I saw him fight in Puerto Rico, long arms, and takes a lot of chances.
I saw Kenny Norton this morning. I saw Young this morning in the lobby, and he looked extremely heavy to me. And he's at 220, and I think he's carrying a little too much weight for a fellow who's basically light on his feet and should be at a lighter weight.
He has everything to lose, Jimmy Young, while Ocasio, 22 years of age, weighing in at 205 pounds. Young, at whom we're looking at, weighed in at 220 at high noon yesterday. And the 110-degree heat that we have had here the past 2 or 3 days, well, it's taken a little out of everyone.
Yeah,
but,
we were at poolside today ourselves, and I guess we lost a few pounds.
Now, the rules here, the World Boxing Council, they parallel, of course, the rules of the Nevada Athletic Commission, Arthur. So we're working on the 10-point must system.
That's right, 10-point must system. There's the 3 knockdown rule will be in effect. There's a mandatory 8 count. There will be no standing 8 count, however, Chris.
And of course,
you cannot be saved by the bell.
And they're using 8-ounce gloves, as they will in the Norton-Holmes bout coming up later on our live telecast from Caesar's Palace, a capacity crowd looking on. And there's Jimmy Young, who sprung on the scene with an upset victory over Ron Lyle in 1975. There you see the tail of the tape. 29-year-old Jimmy Young, Ocasio 22. Jimmy has a 2-inch advantage in height, 15 pounds heavier. His reach, well, it says 79 inches and Ocasio 70. It was a little difficult getting the exact measurements from the Spanish-speaking Ocasio, and I doubt if he is 9 inches shorter in the reach department.
Well, let's just say that...
All right.
Yeah, let's just say that Young has a 78-inch reach, which I think it is. He has an effective delivery, and it looks like he has a longer reach because he throws a beautiful jab, Chris.
He does, and the much younger opponent, he is undefeated in 11. He is fighting in Las Vegas for the first time. Jimmy Young, this is his 3rd straight fight in this Nevada city. Now we don't get a good facial look, but he is tough. Sloping shoulders, can punch. 9 knockouts.
Well, that's
And in the red corner,
Chuck Hull with the introductions.
Puerto Rico, weighing in at 205 pounds, Ossie Jaws Ocasio. 10 rounds of boxing.
That was Chuck Hull, and now the referee, a native of New York, moving in to give instructions. He is Buddy Basilico, and Arthur, you know about his work.
Oh, I know Buddy very well. We started out in the Golden Gloves in New York many years ago, and then Buddy decided that he wanted to come out here to retire, and he's been refereeing out here for many years, and he's a very, very fine official. He was highly regarded in New York.
Well, he is the 3rd man in the ring. He makes certain that the fight is conducted according to the rules of boxing. He has no vote in the scoring in this 10-point must system. The 3 judges are Bill Kipp, Lon Tabbitt, and David Morietta. So he just conducts the fight while the 3 judges at ringside. And Arthur, I'd like your opinion. Do you feel the referee should score a fight, or should he just be in the ring to make certain that it goes properly?
Well, I have a very strong attitude about scoring. I think that the referee has the best vantage point, Chris, and I do think that he should have that scoring power. As a matter of fact, I've gone to a few foreign places, and they asked me not to vote, and I refused and said I would come back home if they didn't allow me to vote. The referee is in the best vantage point. He can almost feel the blows. He's so close to the fighters, and he should have that power of scoring.
All right, not looking 15 pounds lighter is Ossie Ocasio. He is shorter, but he's got a hulking frame, powerful legs, powerful calves. We'll see how he'll set up against it, by far his stiffest opponent. His last fight was in Puerto Rico against Kevin Isaacs. Of course, this man's last fight was a 15-round loss to Ken Norton, whom you'll be seeing later. This is round 1 of a scheduled 10-round heavyweight bout.
And as you noticed before, Chris, you said that he had sloping shoulders, and that's indicative of punch power. Ocasio has a slight smile on his face. I don't know why.
He's absolutely defiant. In the bout we saw him.
He's very cool, I'll say that. Just take a look at the midsection of Jimmy Young. He looks a little heavy to me.
I wish I had it. If you just joined us, this is round 1. Live coverage of the Jimmy Young Ossie Ocasio fight. Ocasio from San Juan, Puerto Rico, one of 21 children. 19 boys, 2 daughters in that family.
He doesn't seem, Ocasio doesn't seem to be afraid of Young. He moves right in, and he appears to slip fairly well, too.
He expects in 2 years to be a heavyweight champion of the world. He's in the white trunks, Jimmy Young, who is trying to come back and get another shot somewhere along the way.
Jimmy Young appears very tall here at ringside.
Buddy Basilico, the referee, told Jimmy Young to keep the punches up. Young in the black trunks. Coming up to the halfway point of round 1.
He picks off that jab pretty good, Ocasio did there. Young has learned the tricks very well. He holds in the back of the head, and he pulls in his opponent.
So Young sprung on the scene with an upset over Ron Lyle, and this is what Ocasio is hoping to do tonight. With only 11 fights, but the WBA world champion has had even less, Leon Spinks. So
yeah,
who
that's
knows?
right. Sometimes you can't tell by the record. It happened with Spinks and Ali, and it could happen here again tonight.
Well, Buddy Basilico keeps talking to Jimmy Young.
Well, he's warning him. As you can see, the way he's pulling his head in right there, and he's tying him up. It looks like Buddy's going to have his work cut out from tonight in clinches. You notice that, how Young comes in on the clinch at all times.
Young, who has a very quick right hand. He scored only 7 knockouts. He has a fair left hook, but he can move and hit. And this is a lovely combination, any division of boxing.
Well, with that added weight, he might be able to hit a lot harder tonight. But if you remember him when he was boxing Foreman, he was very light on his feet and did a lot of moving around. He's very eager to clinch tonight, Chris. Pretty good right hand by Ocasio.
And fair defensive work by Jimmy Young, snapping away.
It's getting late, Walt.
Best I can do, Mr. Barnes.
Well, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So just say, but
I want to buy a beer for Walt.
and for the easy taste of the king of beers, and just relax when you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Back again at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada. A 10-round scheduled heavyweight bout between Ossie Ocasio and this man. Number 2 ranked contender, Jimmy Young, who had a big chance just a few months ago, which we televised. And the man that's now taken his place with a shot at the WBC title is a very cool Larry Holmes. There he is, and his opponent tonight shows very little expression. Tremendous athlete, Kenny Norton. They'll be fighting later on our live telecast as we move into round 2 of a scheduled 10. In white, Ossie Ocasio. 205, Jimmy Young, heavy at 220 pounds. No knockdowns. He's aggressive. And, of course, Jimmy Young likes a lead fighter because he loves to counterpunch.
Yeah, I tell you, I like what I see with Ocasio. He's not afraid at all.
Well, one of 21 children, he'd have to be brave.
Jimmy Young is extremely slow tonight. Absolutely slow.
Remember his win against Foreman, which we televised? He was up on those toes. He had Foreman completely befuddled. That's why he upset him.
He has no zing in his jab either. And as I said before, I'd like to repeat, he's so anxious to get on the inside and hold, which indicates that he's not in shape and he wants a rest.
Now, Jimmy Young has gone 10 rounds or more 11 times, while Ocasio has gone 10 once. A decision over Isaacs.
Then, Chris. Jimmy Young was hit with the right hand. He looked like he was disturbed by it.
He's going to get caught more often if he keeps coming in like that.
He hit him again with a good right hand. And there he is holding again.
Absolutely sluggish thus far as we're reaching the midpoint of round 2.
At this rate, it's going to be kind of a slow fight because of that holding. Buddy Basilico is working more in these first 2 rounds than he will in another fight in 10 rounds.
Don't forget, big fight coming up, Kenny Norton and Larry Holmes for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Another thing, Chris, Osvaldo Ocasio is pushing the fight. He seems to be the aggressor. Very good right hand. He's been delivering that all night.
Overhand right hand leads by Ocasio in white. Only 11 fights. We had a great deal of concern about his defense, Ocasio, because in his last fight he just kept those dukes down at his side, had none. But now he's keeping them up and still punching off of the defense.
That's another thing I notice about Ocasio, though. He seems to slap an awful lot. You see this? When he delivers the left uppercut and the left hook, he slaps.
Unlike Zarate, who scored a 4th-round knockout at 210 against Hernandez earlier here on the fight cards, hitting with that striking surface. The bell in about 10 seconds.
It's that rope-a-dope style now again by Jimmy.
America's best-selling wagon, Ford Fairmont. for lots of reasons. Fairmont has the highest gas mileage rating of any mid-size wagon.
These days, the higher the better.
Fairmont gives you the most room for the money of any wagon.
Lots of headroom and broken leg room.
Fairmont has the lowest sticker price of any mid-size wagon.
Man's best friend is a low price. Test Fairmont at your Ford dealer, where the better ideas keep coming.
Last hand. 8 hours and 10 minutes. Fantastic. In summation.
9 hours and 5 minutes?
Amazing.
Vicks Sinex long-acting nasal spray is amazing. It can quickly have you breathing as easily as someone with no congestion problem. And then it decongests up to 10 hours.
The Grand Canyon proved to be...
10 hours? Fantastic.
The slideshow?
No, my nasal spray.
Vicks Sinex long-acting.
Coming out of the right corner, Jimmy Young did not take advantage of the stool in his corner. Possibly, Arthur, he could have used the rest.
Yeah, I think he should be seated. I think he's going to have a very tough fight on his hands tonight if he doesn't open up.
This is the third round. If you just joined us, there have been no knockdowns. Neither fighter is marked. Very aggressive, and landing punches is Ocasio in white. 22 years old from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Jimmy from Philadelphia.
Jimmy Young is reverting back to that rope-a-dope style and clinching, which means he doesn't want to tire quickly. He's trying to save perhaps a very powerful punch a little along the way in the fight to try to knock out Ocasio.
Ocasio will not tire. We found that out in Puerto Rico in his 10-round decision over Isaacs.
He's in excellent shape, Chris. You know, Ocasio almost looked like a middleweight in there with him. Now, Young just complained of Ocasio thumbing him. Did you notice that?
Yes. That's one thing you referees watch for closely.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, he's slapping again. Ocasio slapping.
Jimmy Young only scoring in flurries. For the first time, a fine combination inside by Young in the black trunks.
He has the sound effects also. Do you notice? Every time he throws a combination, he's giving it with the grunt and groan. There it is again.
Good right
Young
hand.
hit him with a very good right hand.
So this would be the time for Ocasio to back off.
Yeah, I kind of think that Ocasio is very effective staying outside. As long as he can score. If he stays to the outside and throws long punches, he's better off. Although he is accumulating points with that with the kind of a defense that Young has, the rope-a-dope. Whenever the Ocasio throws a punch, he should be scoring points according to the officials.
The referee does not score the bout. WBC rules. There are 3 judges at ringside doing that. Coming up to the 10-second mark of round 3.
Jimmy Young just threw a very good left hook.
Good punches by Ocasio.
He just won't intimidate this young guy. He keeps coming right back.
Pro Kids would like you to know there's a movement afoot.
It looks so easy on TV.
Now we move into the 4th round, scheduled for 10. Prelude to the Norton-Holmes heavyweight championship fight. Young in the black trunks, 220. 205 in white, Ossie Ocasio of Puerto Rico. And thus far, I have him ahead. I have Ocasio in white. Slight lead in this 10-point must-scoring system.
Well, Chris and I are keeping our scores independent of each other, and at this point, we both agree.
Arthur McCanty, great referee in the world. First time I did a heavyweight championship fight with him was at the Polo Grounds in 1960. Johansson, Patterson.
Yeah, the now torn down Polo Grounds. There are apartment houses there now, Chris.
Right.
Matter of fact, we go way back to Eastern Parkway Arena and St. Nicholas Arena, 1954 and 55.
And here in Las Vegas, on a very hot evening. Cool inside, however, in this sports pavilion.
Now at this point, Ocasio should be backing off Norton, scoring with jabs and straight right hands, which he's capable of doing. He's making a mistake. Ocasio would be making a mistake if he stayed in with Jimmy.
And of course, the smarter, more experienced fighter will try to get the opponent to do what he wants him to do.
Experience is always very important. Now he's complaining again. Jimmy Young is complaining again about thumbing,
What about slapping with the gloves, Arthur?
Well, they're delivering. You are making a contact, but a slap is not powerful. Why slap when you can punch? The whole idea of the game is to knock out your man, and you're not going to do it with a slap.
Arthur Mercati, one of the world's great boxing referees, wearing a bow tie tonight, but not with a referee shirt, but a dinner jacket.
I understand in London and in England, they referee with the tux on, just the way we're dressed, Chris.
That they do. We did Ali Cooper there, and that was the case.
Ocasio is putting up a real great fight. For a fellow.
And he's got good inside right-hand shots. They almost go unnoticed, but he is scoring with them.
What I'm impressed with is the fact that he's not afraid at all to be in there with Jimmy. Now Ocasio ought to back up off that corner, because he's going to get hurt on the inside.
Yeah, because he is a harder puncher, and a puncher needs punching room.
And not only that, with all that weight going for him, he's a harder puncher.
We'll be back with more after this word from our local station.
The prestigious United States Open Golf Championship, 4 days of...
That's Ken Norton in his dressing room, awaiting his first title defense in the heavyweight division against undefeated Larry Holmes of Easton, Pennsylvania. Very confident, and there is great dislike between those two heavyweights whom you'll see later. Chris Schenkel, Arthur Mercati, Howard Cosell, waiting in the wings to do the championship fight. Now we move into round 5 of this prelude 10-round heavyweight bout. Young in the black trunks, 220, 205 in white. Ocasio of San Juan, Puerto Rico. No knockdowns, neither fighter marked.
And I have Ocasio ahead at this time. How do you have it, Chris?
I have the same. Good jabs.
If I were to advise Young at this point in time about strategy, I think he ought to stay on the outside and throw long-range left jabs and straight right hands, which he does very effectively. He's a little annoyed with the referee because the referee pushed him a little too hard. But the referee is breaking these two guys very well.
And a slight buckling of the knees after that hook, Arthur. Jimmy Young.
Maybe Jimmy took this boy a little too lightly. And that happens frequently in boxing. This is the point I'm talking about right now. If he could throw those long jabs and come across with a good straight right hand, because Ocasio can be hit with the right. You see his hand, his left hand is low. He carries his left very low.
Ocasio in white, his 12th professional bout after only 4 amateur bouts, undefeated. Only the second time he's been asked to go 10 rounds. We're coming up to the halfway point of this heavyweight bout.
All right, now Jimmy is starting to work pretty good on the inside. Now Ocasio's mouthpiece fell out, but it wasn't because of a blow to the head, because Jimmy now is working to the body. Now he's going to the head. Great jab. Now he's coming out with effective jabs.
And that's the jab that Young has thrown in the past so effectively. There it is. He's getting more up on his toes now, moving a little better.
If you notice, Jimmy's changing his style. He's staying outside a little more now.
And becoming the aggressor, not backing off.
Yep. He's fighting much better this round.
And here's the thumb, warning again.
Buddy Basilico was warning Ocasio for thumbing. That's the first warning by Buddy. And the rules here in Nevada state that if you give him 2 warnings, you have to take a point, deduct a point from the score.
And we'll find that out, should it happen, at the end of a round when he will inform all 3 judges who score the fight. More punches now by Jimmy Young. Less than 10 seconds remaining in 5. Round 5.
Willis Reed, basketball great, coach of the New York Knicks. You know what he does for excitement? He collects stamps.
U.S. commemorative. Here now is the 6th round, and you look at the face of 22-year-old Ocasio of San Juan, Puerto Rico, undefeated 11 fights, going against veteran Jimmy Young. His record of 30 bouts, 22 wins, 7 knockouts. If you just joined us, he came to life in that 5th round, jabbing, such as he's doing right now.
Yeah, he's changed his style now. And this is the way he should have been fighting from round 1. He's on the outside, crisp jabs now. He's coming back to the old Jimmy Young. Not the old Jimmy Young, he's still young, but I mean his former self.
Jimmy Young, who fought for the title in Landover, Maryland against Muhammad Ali. 15-rounder against Ken Norton here this past November. He's been inactive since then. Ocasio's last fight was a few weeks ago in San Juan.
Ocasio has a habit. When he comes in, he kind of ducks his head. Jimmy Young could throw a right uppercut very effectively if he'd try it. Jimmy's starting to dance a little bit now, like he used to.
And the jab, keeping his younger opponent off balance.
Good right hand by Ocasio.
Glancing blow.
He's very cool, isn't he, that Ocasio?
He certainly is. Complete disdain for his opponent. Right into the fat section of the midsection. A little hook by Ocasio. Jimmy at 220, 7 pounds heavier than he was when he last fought Kenny Norton.
What's it doing?
Bomb again.
Jimmy Young's very mad now. I don't see really why he should be.
Ocasio should keep those gloves closed, though, Arthur.
Yeah.
Look at his right hand. That's...
Yeah, as we stated before, he has a habit of slapping, which is not good. They ought to correct that with him. They ought to...
He's not in there to shake hands. He's in there to punch.
Very good. That's true. You see, and that's what happens. When you keep that open glove, you have a tendency of thumbing. I never saw Jimmy Young look so heavy, really. He apparently hasn't been doing much road work or jumping rope. He ought to be doing more skipping rope. That'll take that weight off. I like the way Ocasio did that. He caught that left hand and went right back and counterpunched. Counterpunched right over the block.
You'll hear the bell in 5 seconds.
Seconds up!
Jimmy Young and Osvaldo Ocasio. Jaws Ocasio in the white trunks. Coming out of the corner smiling. Now, I believe, a very close fight as we move into round 7.
That's right. As we come into round 7, I have the fight even. How do you have it, Chris?
I have it even.
You have.
Ooh, beautiful.
They're right on top of us now. That was a good right hand delivered by Ocasio. Absolutely. Ocasio. Ocasio, as we look at him right now, is very, very calm and very, very confident.
You know, in Puerto Rico, promoters figured that Young's opponent would be Kevin Isaacs. But here comes the young man in the white trunks and upsets Isaacs to gain this spot.
Yeah, and he delivered a great right hand then. And Jimmy caught it flush, and there's another one. But Jimmy has a fight on his hands tonight. He probably took it very lightly. This is why he came in the way he came in. scoring. He's scoring. Ocasio is scoring in that corner.
And we're in round 7, scheduled for 10 later. Don't forget, World Heavyweight Championship fight. Ken Norton in at 220, going against Larry Holmes, undefeated, weighing 209. Close match, judge battle.
I'd like to explain something on that rope-a-dope style. These fellows that have that rope-a-dope style really are on the defense, and the opponent who really can't get through to them is still punching and still scoring, even though they're hitting on elbows and shoulders.
They're not using much of this 20-foot square ring, Arthur.
No, it's a great ring. It's similar to the size of Madison Square Garden's ring, and a very good-looking ring, as a matter of fact.
Capacity crowd watching Sports Pavilion, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ocasio's been very well taught. Got a good solid stance, a good strong boy.
His manager and trainer's his brother, named Archie War, which is their christened, or their last name, War, not Ocasio. A little measuring there, which...
There was nothing wrong.
Now.
Well, Buddy Basilica now has won Ocasio several times. Buddy has won him several times. Now we'll see if he takes the round or he's taking a point away, not a round.
End of round 7 in a few seconds. Very quiet corner of this man, Jimmy Young. The cornerman saying very little, while in Ocasio, White Trunks, his corner, he was getting all kinds of advice as we move into the 8th round of the scheduled 10-round heavyweight bout.
Well, they feel that he has a very good chance, and they're trying to up him and psych him up for this fight.
Referee Arthur Mercante, our colleague here at ringside, and he'll be joining Howard Cosell for the Don't Like You bout between Ken Norton and Larry Holmes. Push and shoving during the week. Oh, it should be a beauty. On paper, as close as Affirmed and Alydar. Believe me.
He looks like he's becoming quite serious now, Chris. Jimmy Young looks like he's quite serious.
Jimmy sometimes failing to keep that left hand up, which is just perfect for Ocasio's quick right hand.
They ought to lift the trunks of Ocasio, because if Jimmy hits him right at the Everlast sign there, it looked like it's a low blow. That looked a little low. And Buddy caught it. He's a very, very good referee, and he caught it.
And now
what they should do is raise his trunks, and Buddy's doing that. Just great. He's a very much on the ball referee. He learned all his tricks in New York.
We're in round 8. Neither fighter knocked down. No cuts. You saw the effect of that inside right uppercut thrown by Ocasio and White. Oh,
very good delivery. That was an excellent delivery, because it was a combination of 3 punches. 1, 2, and 3. And that's what you have to do in boxing. Don't be satisfied with the one-punch delivery. Now, this is what Jimmy should be doing now more often. Straight left jabs, fast right cross. All right, now Jim is starting to press him. Jimmy's so huge that I can't get over the fact that the other guy looks like a middleweight or a light heavyweight. Beautiful right uppercut. All right, now Jim continues to fight the way he's fighting now. He can pull this out.
Round 8 will end soon. Back again. Determination on the face of 22-year-old Ossie Ocasio, trying to vault himself into the muddled heavyweight picture. And thus far, Arthur, he has done a super job as we go into round 9. His 12th bout, he's undefeated against veteran Jimmy Young. How do you have the fight scored?
I'll get to that. Let's see. I'm looking at the fight here. Let me go by here for a little while. It's like come back to my score, not to lose the action.
Young now being beaten to the punch, and Ocasio daringly leads with a long right hand. There you can see the left hand of Young in the black trunks, holding it loud, now bringing it up a bit. Jimmy following with a right hook when he should jab and follow with a left hook. Buddy Basilico, the referee, is we're in the 9th round, scheduled to go 10. Later, don't forget, live coverage here in Las Vegas. Ken Norton, first defense of his World Boxing Council Heavyweight Championship against undefeated Larry Holmes, who believes he can take it away tonight.
Jimmy seems a little annoyed with himself for being hit.
The fans definitely for the underdog here, which is often the case in this one-on-one sport.
To get back to your answer before, Chris, I have it 5-3-1 now for Young. 5-3-1 even.
I've got it headed for a draw. Young has a couple of draws in his career, one against Ernie Shavers in his second meeting after being KO'd by Ernie.
Yes, I have to apologize for that. I have it 4-3-1. 4-3-1 at this point.
So it is close. Bell in about 3 seconds.
America
out for veteran Jimmy Young, but a very important one after his 15-round loss to Ken Norton in this same ring. For the man in white, Ossie Ocasio, this is the biggest round, I think, at looking at my scoring of his whole career. He's looking for an upset. It's a very close fight. Ocasio, I believe, must win this round in order to have a shot at the 3 judges' decision.
Well, I have it 5-3-1 at this point for Young. Young should have been fighting this way in the beginning, Chris, and he would have been much farther ahead.
He failed to do it through the first 4 rounds. Now he's getting set up like he did against Foreman and in his good rounds against Norton and Ali.
That's the combination where he's scoring on the inside. Surprising that Jimmy doesn't have the power, though.
Well, we thought it would be Young tiring, but he's a little more effort here in the last round for Jimmy Young as compared to Ocasio's effort.
Ocasio now is backing up. He's on the defense. Young is carrying this round. He's on the offense. Appears that Young wants to get that one right hand across. He just can't get it out.
I have a feeling Ocasio's corner told him he was ahead. Cool it in the 10th round, but I think it was bad advice if that happened. A little mauling now. For Ocasio and White, second time he's had to go 10. Jimmy's done it 11 times. We have about 45 seconds left in the bout.
Ocasio's corner are really rooting for him now, rooting him home. This is a good round so far, however, for Young.
But I think he should be throwing more punches, not dancing as much. Seems very confident the way he's fighting in this last round.
Yeah.
Ocasio and White. There it is.
That's the end of a very good fight.
So all the prelude to the scheduled 15-round heavyweight championship fight coming up here in the fun city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Real grudge battle, and for Ossie Ocasio, there you see his brother, Archie War, who manages and trains him, along with John Tocco and Bill Prezant. While we go to the opposite corner and we see Bobby Brown, his trainer, Slim Perkins, and Mickey Grandietto. And here is Sylvester Stallone, Rocky.
Rocky.
Right there. And Ocasio, I think he may have been overconfident one round early.
You know, the fans are always for the underdog, and of course he was the underdog, but he fought a great fight.
Very little expression on a very quiet Jimmy Young. Interesting guy, well, virtual unknown.
It'll be interesting to see now what the judges come up with.
And the judges here at ringside, Bill Kipp, Lon Tabbitt, and David Morietta. Ring announcer Chuck Hull now, moving toward the center, picking up his microphone, and we will know the winner of this bout between veteran Jimmy Young and newcomer Ossie Ocasio. There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Dave Moretti scores 47-43 Young. Judge Lou Tabbitt scores 46-44 Ocasio.
And now the big one.
Bill Kipp scores 46-45 for the winner from San Juan, Puerto Rico.
There it is. An upset. An upset. Still undefeated in 12 fights. 22-year-old Ossie Ocasio. And we've moved right along with it, and it appeared, except I was worried about the last round, that he wasn't doing enough to keep his lead. But what an upset win over a fighter, Jimmy Young, who was definitely not in top condition. And look at the...
They look like a whole plane full of Puerto Ricans came down. They're all in the ring.
There were no knockdowns, neither fighter cut. We'll give you that scoring again. 47-43 for Young. On Lou Talbot's card, 46-44 for the winner. And Bill Kipp in the split decision had it 46-45 for Ossie Ocasio, the winner. And Jimmy Young now losing his 7th bout, his 31st start since turning professional in San Diego in 1969. Ocasio, we should point out, does not speak any English. Consequently, our interview would be futile should we try. But the fans from Puerto Rico are really delighted here in Las Vegas. As here at the Sports Pavilion in Las Vegas, Nevada, we're going to pause momentarily for station identification. It'll be coming up very, very soon, and there is one of the symbols of that great country, that island.
Very at the beginning, at the outset, there could be an upset. It seems all these young fighters are coming out with not too many victories in their records, but upsetting.
Meanwhile, in the dressing rooms, the two men who are in the main go, and it's a big one, believe me, as a young lady comes in and wants to get a smack on the lip of this bachelor. Ossie Ocasio, the split decision, the winner. And there's Ken Norton looking at the TV set, and there's a tremendous athlete. He had a great fight with Jimmy Young in November that Howard Cosell and I covered. Of course, Howard is here standing by to talk about Larry Holmes and Ken Norton for their scheduled 15-round heavyweight fight. All right. If you just joined us, a split decision upset victory by undefeated Ossie Ocasio over Jimmy Young. Station identification coming up.
The WBC Heavyweight Championship title at stake. Let me fill you in on how this fight really came about and how